people pay income taxes and the wealthy pay more. We're also going to have to look at the relationship of the payroll tax system to the broader tax system. I mean, for example, one of the top two tax preferences of the Internal Revenue Code is the fact that individuals don't pay payroll tax or income tax on employer provided and paid health care, whether it's active employee health care or whether it's retiree health care. That's hundreds of billions of dollars a year in lost revenues. And the last time I checked, healthcare benefits were called employee benefits, and employee benefits were called compensation.
Yeah, and the thing is, if they don't fix the tax code, what happens is that you're wasting your time on trying to increase the marginal rates because the actual rate or effective rate is like zero. Yeah, so you could have Medicare be at 5%, 10%, 15%. It really wouldn't matter as long as you can do a workaround using an S corp. And I don't see anybody in Congress even addressing this issue. And I think part of the reason why is they all use it and all their clients use it. And hence, it's kind of a conflict of interest for them to even suggest being able to cut off end runs by high income people not to pay any Medicare and or even Social Security taxes. So we have a serious problem here. I'm not sure how it's addressed internationally, but we do have an international panel. So we're going to bring in Sasha Starr from Canada, and perhaps they have a little bit different system when it comes to healthcare, and also Sharif, who's in Bangladesh and Asia, which represents about 35% of all the population. China and India do. In other words, all the population is over there, not over here, but people don't recognize it. So I'll start with Sasha in Canada, because I know that our relationships are really great with the Canadians right now. Sasha, what is the Canadian healthcare situation over there? Is your trust fund solvent, or
don't have a trust fund?
The healthcare system in Canada is run by provinces, not by federal government. And the provinces, they have quite identical plan. For example, I live in Ontario, Canada, and it calls OHIP. It's an Ontario Health Insurance Plan. And that doesn't cost you anything, even one penny. It allows you unlimited visits to doctors, hospital care, just appointments with a specialist. Okay, somebody can say that this appointment, sometimes you have to wait longer than if you would have been in the United States. It all depends. Some of it is true. Some of it you can speed it up. Let's see, if it's an MRI procedure and you agree to do it 11 in the evening, you may get it in actually a few days' time. But if you want to do it normal daytime, then you wait 5 weeks, 7 weeks, whatever it might be. So it's a nature of the situation, because obviously demand on MRI equipment and people who run it much more during the normal daytime hours than during the night hours. Okay, that's something what you have to have in mind. All these systems, I'm talking about provincial healthcare systems, are run quite efficiently. I never heard about any threats of running out of money or anything like this. About 20 years ago, there was a uprising in Ontario of doctors who operate under OHIP system, that they believed that they are underpaid, and instead of being real doctors, as it's in a Western understanding of this word, they're becoming social government employees in a way. And there was a big upheaval, and I know personally a couple of doctors who were on strike, and eventually it was settled, and it ran pretty well the same way as before the strike. So it's just, I don't know what was the agreement reached, but it continued to run well over 20 years since that strike, quite smoothly. in my opinion. Now, talking about relationship with Canada, it's not Canada, it's relationship with the rest of industrial world. That includes Canada, that includes European Union, that includes Japan, South Korea, and many other countries. Uh, when Trump, after the Liberation Day, went on to suggest 90 days extension, so there is 90 countries approximately, so it will be a deal a day, and all this tariff issue will be done and over with. Well, to my knowledge, in 90 days he reached only one deal. It's 10% tariffs with United Kingdom. That's it. So he now extends deadline to August 1st. European Union deal is 25%. Oh, I think yesterday he said, no, it's going to be 15% and I'm ready to negotiate. He's ready. That's nice. Is European Union ready? No, European Union is not ready. It doesn't need any deals with United States. So is Canada, so is Japan and South Korea. The only reason to do any deal with United States is that United States could send B-2 bombers like it did with Iran. The problem is that there are just too many countries, and he just doesn't have so many bombers. He has about 19 B-2 bombers. That's not enough. He needs to send, like Iran, he sent 16 bombers. So one Iran, 16 bombers. So there are so many countries now, 90 countries, he has to send, 90 times 16. He doesn't have the bombers available. So where's he going from here? Nowhere. He has to get on his knees and quickly. Thanks.
Well, let me clarify a couple of things. First, the tariff situation is about economics. It's not about military capabilities. It has nothing to do with that at all. To set the record straight, we didn't use 16 bombers for Iran. We used two bombers to hit Iran. Look, I have a problem with how Trump is approaching the tariff issue. On the so-called Liberation Day, he said that he wanted to have reciprocity with regard to tariffs. And yet when he announced what his proposed tariffs were, they were basically a mathematical calculation as to what the tariff would have to be in order to close the gap on the trade deficit between these various countries. That's not reciprocity. We need to get this situation resolved sooner rather than later. I think the most important countries for us to resolve it with are Canada, Mexico, Japan, the European Union, China, and South Korea. I think those are by far the most important. What Trump is trying to do is he's trying to use it as leverage because we have the biggest market in the world. I mean, our consumer market is very attractive for everybody. My personal view is that we should promote free and fair trade, and the only time that we should ever impose sanctions or tariffs would be if there's an unlevel playing field, and they would be targeted and they would be temporary. There's one big footnote to that, and that is one of the things the United States has to do is the United States has to become self-sufficient with regard to has to become self-sufficient between ourselves and our allies, and of which obviously Canada is one of our allies, okay? But there are many other allies. We have to become self-sufficient with regard to critical national security and public health needs. We are not self-sufficient with regard to that right now. We are unduly reliant on China in particular for rare earth materials and certain other matters that are necessary for example, making prescription drugs. And so I think, I share Sasha's concern and frustration over the current state of tariff negotiations. And that's one of the reasons that the Federal Reserve has hesitated to lower their interest rate, because they don't know what the longer term implication of these tariffs are going to be. And the administration complained about the fact that, well, when the estimates were done on the cost of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, they didn't consider tariffs. Well, how do you consider tariffs when you don't know what they're going to be? But what